Welcome back to another Thursday night, Keeping Up with the Klee Kai. I hope you guys are having a great day. So today we have an amazing topic. We are going to talk about puppy hazards. It's super, super important to be prepared before you bring home a puppy, and even if you already do have a puppy, because a lot of times we might think that something so simple like a grape would be good for our puppy, but in fact, those can be very, very toxic to our puppies. So we're going to go over a lot of different topics, but before we get started, I first wanted to say I want to introduce a good friend of mine and a fellow breeder of the Alaskan Klee Kai, and this is Julie Baker. So please welcome her. She is from Kenai Ridge here in Southern California, and we have known each other, since 2003 or 2004? Something like that. A really, really long time. A long, long time. So I hope that you guys are super excited, because that means you don't just get information from me, but yet another breeder that has a lot of good information that you guys can ask her and ask me, of course. And so we'll go back and forth. Nala has decided to take over the show, I think. But if you guys are new, first let me say welcome. If you guys are new, please type new in the comments below, just so that we can say hello and welcome you guys. And we do have a couple housekeeping rules for those of you that are new. We will go over a bunch of topics, and as we go through the topics, hey Taz, leave it alone. Taz is already eating the phone. We will have our topics stay on cue. So that means if you guys have questions, you can type them in the comments. But please do me a favor and keep those questions to the topic at hand. And then we'll open it up at the end for any random topic questions. But in the meantime, let's try to stay focused, because we both have a huge list of things and we want to be able to get through all of that. We also have ultrasound footage that we're going to share with you guys. And so we want to try to stay on topic. So if you guys are not familiar, there are such things as Super Chat and Super Sticker. And those are donations that go back to our whole program, and we buy tons and tons of things for the dogs, which we're going to show you here soon. And if you guys do a Super Chat or a Super Sticker, then guess what? You guys, your questions will jump to the top of the list. And those questions do not have to be specific to our topic. So you can ask any random question. We also have new merchandise, and I know you guys are dying to know what we're giving away. So let me just show you real fast before we get going. We are going to give away something that we just made. Of course, we'll see if it lasts with the dogs. Lex, is that focus good?
Yeah, it's good.
So it's purple instead of our black and gray. So hopefully somebody likes purple besides Taz, because he loves purple. Apparently. Yep, he loves purple. So does Kira. All right, so we're going to give that away, and we are going to let go. We're going to also give away a mask, and it's a Halloween mask. And Alexis will give this away to somebody. I'm not sure who she'll pick, but this will be to somebody. But the sweater is going to go to the top Super Chat or Super Sticker. As you guys know, Alexis picks those people because she's behind there. She gets to see everything. I don't necessarily get to see it. All right, before I go crazy, let's get started. I see a bunch of welcomes. So Julie, just say hi to everybody.
Hi.
All right, I figured what we'll do, if you're okay with it, is I'll list one thing, then you list one thing, and then we can kind of go back and forth.
Sounds good.
We didn't have time to compare our notes, so we don't know what we have. We'll see. If I have something you have something I have, then we can skip them.
I'm sure we have some.
All right, Alexis, if you have questions that are about this stuff, just interrupt us, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, here we go. All right, I'll go first.
Okay.
All right, so the first thing that I found out is a puppy hazard. Yes.
Sandy got her leggings.
Thank you, Sandy, for the money. I'm glad you got your leggings. Do you love them or do you love them? Okay, guys, I still haven't put them on the website. I know. But if you want them, you can always just email me. I just don't have time in the day. But we do have them. We have plenty in stock. Speaking of merchandise, I know we'll talk more about that. But unisex sweatshirts are on order. They're coming. So for all you gentlemen, I promise, by next Thursday, we will have inventory. All right. So my first topic is fabric softener sheets. Who would have known that fabric softener sheets are hazardous to our dogs? Of course, you think if they eat it, yeah, that's a hazard. But they actually have a chemical inside of them that is very, very dangerous for dogs and is very toxic. So you think, oh, you're washing dog bedding and you accidentally forget that and it's stuck to their bed. If they eat that, you're asking for trouble. Also, aside from the chemicals, it's also a hazard because it's not easily digestible, which means it can get wrapped up all in their stomach, and then guess what? You're really running to the emergency surgery for sure.
Yep.
All right, so that was my first one, and now I'll let Julie say what hers is.
My biggest one, or I guess sorry, big girl, is our electrical cords. And I know we all get irritated when they chew on electrical cords, iPhone cords, whatever. But what I saw when I was a tech was a lot of dogs that would chew on the lamp cords. And lamp cords, not high voltage, but enough to shock the puppy. And we saw a lot of puppies that came in with minor electrical shock burns, that kind of stuff. So don't let them do it. Even if you don't think they can damage it, it just takes a little bit to get through the cord.
That was a good one. Especially nowadays, we all have everything plugged in everywhere, right? I know I do. Okay, so my next one is something that, again, you wouldn't think is anything too serious, and that is sugar-free gum and breath mints. Sugar-free gum and breath mints. Now, why? You think, oh, we eat it all the time. Breath mints, we eat them all the time. They contain something called, hold on, Missy, xylitol. Hope I'm saying that right. Yes. But it can be deadly in dogs. And xylitol actually is found in a lot of things. It's actually found in toothpaste. So I have kids. I don't know if you guys have little kids. What's wrong? The wild children?
Yeah.
So if your kid is putting toothpaste on his toothbrush and spills some down the cabinet in the bathroom and your dog licks it, that's a pretty scary situation. So xylitol comes in toothpaste, candy, chewable vitamins for your kids, mouthwash, as well as gum and Tic Tacs. So just think about, if you have a thing of Tic Tacs in your car and it tips over and spill, we normally wouldn't think anything of it, like, oh, well, there's a Tic Tac rolling around back there. But if you have your dog in the car with you and they get a hold of that Tic Tac, you're probably going to be heading to the vets. So that's another one that I found very interesting and I thought was a huge tip for you guys.
Piggybacking on that,
Yes.
they sometimes put it in peanut butter. And how we all give our dogs peanut butter and they love peanut butter treats and all that jazz. If you're looking at, you are using a lower calorie or a substitute peanut butter, check it to make sure it doesn't have xylitol in it.
Hey,
Because
Julie.
that has been a problem. Yes.
Can you speak a little bit louder?
Yes.
My
I
mom's naturally very loud.
I will try. Thank you.
Want me to move the mic a little? I'm like, you need your own mic.
Let's see. Next on my list would be medications. And that's kind of a no-brainer, but I want to twofold it. Because one is, obviously, if they get into a pill bottle, you know, if they break open your Tylenol bottle or something like that, that's bad. But also people think they can often give dogs the same medications that people use. And that's not always the case. Some things they can manage, a lot of things they can't. So don't give your dog over-the-counter meds that you have at home thinking it'll help settle their stomach, it'll clean up their diarrhea, any of that. Check with your vet first.
Mm-hmm. That's a great tip. The next one on my list is batteries. And of course we think, well, duh, that's like a no-brainer, right? But most people don't have batteries just loose all over the place. But what we don't think about is the batteries that are in our remote control or the batteries that are in our kids' toys. And then let's just say your puppy gets a hold of the remote or a toy and chomps on it and actually bites hard enough to where they get a hold of that battery. So that's something that you really want to pay attention to. Of course, we don't want them getting into all of those things, but I'm sure it's bound to happen. Hey, we can't have a show with all of you crazies. You guys like it when they're all in here, so they're all in here. Well, not all. All right, so batteries. Julie, you're up.
This one, again, kind of obvious, but string ribbon yarn. And especially with the holidays coming up, ribbon. They will just swallow it and swallow it and swallow it. As a tech, we pulled a lot of string out of intestines and out of guts. And it's not a good thing. I had an animal at one point eat a bunch of ribbon at my house, and it was that Christmas ribbon. It was that metallic ribbon. So watch it. Be careful with it. People that knit, people that crochet, all that kind of stuff, leaving that stuff out, you think it's not a big deal because they never bother it until they do bother it.
That's great, especially with the holidays coming up. We're all wrapping presents, and we leave little pieces of ribbon all over the place. All right, so my next one, which we kind of talked on in the past, was grapes, and it was kind of a joke because Brayden thought it was cool to throw the grapes up and let the dogs catch them. But I really didn't know why it was grapes, and I found out that it's actually grapes and raisins, and they truly do not know what. I can't talk, mister. They really don't know exactly what is in the grapes that could be toxic to dogs. But it can be fatal, in fact, and it's, for some reason, they think that it could be the skin. It may not be the skin. It's not in all kinds of grapes, but it's in some kind of grapes. So the thing is, just keep your dog away from grapes and raisins. And the reason why, what will happen is, well, it won't will, but it potentially could happen, is it'll lead to sudden kidney failure. Yikes, that's a scary one. So grapes. We have toddlers in the house. If the toddler is eating grapes and they drop one and it rolls down the hallway and you don't know it, that could be a very scary situation. So grapes and raisins. All right, Ruber's just trying to talk now. I like having you here. I don't have to talk the whole time.
Let's see. Next, I'm sorry.
She says, Pet,
need to
get
use
over
both
here.
hands. Again, a simple one, garbage. And not everybody has. I like to see those garbage cans that are enclosed, that have a lid on them, that are solid, because not only can they get into food that you've thrown away in there, so food that's bad and not good in that respect,
Talk loud.
but all of the things, he's been shouting, all of the things that you throw in the garbage, little pieces of plastic, little bits of whatever, anything and everything that goes in the garbage potentially becomes something that goes in their stomach, and that's the bad part. So make sure your garbage is secure and that they can't get to it. Besides just being messy, if they get into it,
Exactly.
they'll find all sorts of stuff in there.
Yeah, and that will lead me right into the next one, which is kind of garbage, and it is food bags. And I'm talking particularly, of course, there's like all the little plastic Ziploc bags, or holidays are coming and your kids are unwrapping presents and you have all these little plastic baggies. But more specifically, more specifically is the Mylar type of bags. So the old school potato chip bags where it's shiny on the inside. In fact, we have a pretty sad situation that happened to one of our puppy owners, and it is Missy. I need this clipboard.
It's taking too much
No.
attention.
No. Where their puppy was left unattended, not inside of a crate, and got a hold of the pepperoni bag. Now, the pepperoni bag has like a Mylar inside. It's really shiny metal. And they came home to their dog dead with the pepperoni bag over the dog's head. And so that's a pretty scary situation and pretty devastating, right? You walk in and your dog is not alive because of it. So what will happen is the dog can get their head so far in, and then as they're breathing, this bag will actually suck onto their nose and their mouth. And if that happens, they can try to push it off with their paws, but it's not going to be able to come off because it's tight. It's basically like saran wrap wrapped around your dog's face, and they can't get it off. And then they start to hyperventilate, and then they pass out, and then they suffocate. So yeah, pretty scary. All right.
Going back to, this is another one, a lot of people know about this one now, but are the cords that go to your blinds on your windows. And people know about that because it affects toddlers as well. So just those hanging strings and cords, a lot of them have gone to the ones that are cordless now, but if you don't have the cordless ones, make sure you tie those up so that your dog and your puppy can't reach them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they can actually hang themselves.
Just like little kids.
Yeah, for sure. All right, my next one. We're moving along pretty good. Lex, are you good?
I have 2 questions if you don't mind.
Sure, we'll take a few questions.
Alex said this can wait until later if it doesn't fit now, but thoughts on puppy/dog insurance? Is it worth it / recommended?
I'll let you answer. I answer all the time. We talk about that.
I think it is. Unless you have the access and ability to access funds, potentially in the thousands, and you're ready and willing and able to put out that money in an emergency situation, vets are expensive, and it's always going to be an emergency. It's going to be that 2 a.m. on a Sunday night call where you have to go to the ER vet. In Orange County, where I live, walking into the ER vet is $1,200 just to have them look at your dog. Mm-hmm. So I highly recommend it, especially as puppies, because that first year, your puppy can get into everything. It's just like little kids. That's when they're most prone to have accidents and have those emergency type stuff happen. I think it's a good investment, but I'd rather do that than pay thousands out of pocket.
Yeah, and I've talked about this on the live a few times too with pet insurance. I definitely recommend it. We don't endorse or recommend a specific one because everybody's situation is different. So we just say do your research and make sure that the company that you're looking for is actually going to provide you with the service you're looking for. So some pet insurances just do wellness checkup stuff. Unless you pay a higher premium. And so you want to know what you're getting yourself into before you actually buy the pet insurance. You want it to cover emergencies because that's the whole point of it, not just wellness checkups.
And it's come a long way. I have to say, when we first started all of this, dog and pet insurance really was, in my opinion, back then it wasn't really worth much at all. It just didn't work well. It's evolved a lot in the last 15, 20 years. And now I think you can find those policies that will actually help you and that you'll benefit from. Again, it is just reading the fine print, making sure it's going to do what you need it to. And then check your vet, too. Check with your vet to make sure that they will accept those, those companies and those policies before you buy it.
Really, children? Really?
Alex, who asked this question, said, I've done it with one of my dogs, ended up paying $5,000 plus out of pocket in 2 days. Insurance wouldn't cover anything on it, and that's why she asked.
Okay.
And it depends on the insurance. That's why I said read the fine print. Read the fine print and talk to your vet ahead of time.
No.
Tanya said, is that Nova?
Yes, one of them is. That one. Here.
They're saying she's huge.
I know. Look at her. You guys haven't seen her in what? 2 lives we haven't had her on, and all of a sudden she's bigger than here. She's bigger than Nala. Here, I don't know how many you guys need, but
she's not the size of her mom now.
Oh yeah. So for those of you that are familiar with the story, we talked about who's Nova's mom, and everybody was like Diamond's baby, and I told you guys that we got her from another breeder because Diamond's puppy didn't make it. Ta-da! So Nova is from Julie, and that is her breeder. So now you guys know who she is. You can put a face to the name. And there's plenty. Look,
it's not the one that she has.
See, now we can actually talk. We got the crazies out. All right.
Eric asked, how do you know if your dog has a fever?
There's rectal thermometers. Yeah. It's not fun, but that's how the vets do it too.
Yeah.
So it's just a rectal thermometer.
And then Lauren asked, how about tea bags? Mine just pulled one out of my cup this morning while I was cleaning out the fridge.
Yeah, and tea bags are something that you have to be aware of just because it has caffeine in it. So I'd be careful of that.
And the netting on the string.
And
the whole thing.
Exactly. The whole thing. So definitely not something that you should let your dog have. Not that you intentionally did, but run, get it from them. All right. Am I up?
I don't remember.
No,
Julie,
nice.
what is your kennel name?
It's on there. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Kenai Ridge, Alexis, you can click on the little button to
I
put
see.
their website. So, since we're on the topic of Julie, we have her email and her website information we're going to share with you guys, because in a little while I'll give her the floor and let her talk, but she does have a few older retired dogs that are looking for homes, and so I thought it'd be a great opportunity for her to just share with people that, and so that way if you guys need to reach out to her, you can. But we'll cover that once we finish our list. Yes. All right. Okay.
I still don't know whose turn it was.
I don't either. I guess I'll go. I don't know. We lost track.
Doesn't matter.
Nuts. So, especially macadamia nuts. So macadamia nuts, they can cause weakness and depression, vomiting, tremors, hypothermia. It's crazy. Who would have thought a macadamia nut? But a lot of nuts are actually toxic to dogs. And if I wrote down all the reasons and everything, we would be here for 2 days. So I didn't go through all of it, but it's more of just giving you guys as much information as we can. Hopefully you guys are all taking notes, and you guys will be prepared and do all kinds of spring cleaning in your house to make sure that your puppy doesn't get into this stuff. All right, you're up.
My last one, and again, this somewhat falls into the obvious category, is water. And not everybody thinks about that, but depending on how big your puppy is when it comes home and what you have set up for a water bucket, it can actually be dangerous. If they fall in and can't get out, they can drown. The same thing goes for toilets, which is another one that people don't think about, but I've had people bring their dogs into the vet's office, or I did, that had fallen in the toilet and almost drowned. So think about that. If you leave buckets outside for whatever and they catch rainwater, just that random kind of stuff. I usually relate it to toddler stuff. Look at your house as if you had a toddler, just walking around. Anything that is dangerous to that toddler is probably going to be dangerous to your dog or your puppy.
I tried to switch it to your phone, and it's in the.
I'll fix it. Just tell me when.
Okay.
So
yeah. Ride.
Yep, we're going on a ride. Oops. That's because of Taz. You guys all know Taz is the crazy one. How's that?
A little bit more.
A little bit more. He gets into everything.
That's good.
All right. Okay. Trying to stop it. No one's over there.
No.
They're all over there.
I know. There's sticks over here.
Want me to turn it?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
We're on the other one now.
Oh, all right. Okay. So I'm telling you guys, there's so many things out there, and I will compile a list and put it on my website in the next couple of weeks, because there's more than we can go over. But I definitely have some more I can go over real fast, and then we'll take a few questions from you guys. And my next one is, this was an interesting one. And I'll tell you guys, I've been breeding, since 2003, so however many years that is now. And I never really looked into all of this, because I feel like I have a secure place for my dogs. My kids know not to feed the dogs. I wasn't really worried, but some of this surprised me. For example, onions. Did you know that onions are not good for dogs? Onions can kill the blood cells of your puppy. So onions are not good. Obviously, they're going to cause anemia, and it can be pretty life-threatening. So onions is another one to put on the list. Do you have any more? Or do you want me to keep going?
I've got, let's see, two quick things.
Okay, go.
Two quick things. While we're on food, everybody always talks about chocolate. And chocolate is not good for your dog. But that being said, it's usually your darker chocolates and your baker's chocolate. So if your dog eats like one single Hershey's Kiss, probably not going to be a problem. Okay? If it throws up or gets a little diarrhea, that's going to be normal. But it's probably okay. But if you're baking, if it's Christmas time and you have blocks of that dark baker's chocolate out and your dog gets that, that's the stuff you don't want it to have. So if it does eat it,
Is it still in
take it right to your vet and let them induce vomiting, get it out of their stomach as fast as you can.
I don't know if they could see. I switched it over to the...
I didn't do it.
Oh, it didn't?
Well, it's on, but it's... See, This is the bad thing. I knew that wasn't gonna work.
It's gonna work.
It's not gonna work. You don't even know if it worked.
I will know if it works. I got a new iPad where I could control the cameras.
It switched.
See, it switched. I see it now.
And I switched it back.
She doesn't want me having control.
Well, it's on their butts.
Well, it's because Taz is looking so cute, but he's sideways and
But
you
he's
can't
cute
see.
to us and not to them.
I know, they can't see. I need a camera right here that I could just do like this. I need a cameraman. Can somebody be our cameraman?
Oh.
All right, chocolate. That was a good one, especially the
bigger chocolate. The
Yeah.
dark stuff. That's what has the stuff that's really bad
most
for your dog.
Yeah. And the white chocolate is going to be the least toxic to your dog. So if they eat a piece of white chocolate or milk chocolate, you're probably going to be okay. Okay, so a couple other normal, common things that we would think everybody would know, but truthfully, not everybody does, is bones. Like chicken bones, that you boiled your chicken, you cooked your chicken, and you give your dog your chicken bone, or fried chicken, or what have you. Those have splinters, and they are very, very brittle. So they're very dangerous for your dogs. He's like, this is in my way. I think he was going to try to go potty. Oh no, he's going to tear things up. There's Taz. He's tearing up a pee pad again.
Options.
All right, I'm getting distracted. So bones, no cooked bones of any type, guys. Don't give your dog cooked bones. But speaking of bones, something that you should be giving your dog, and we recommend and we talk about all the time, is natural meaty, raw meaty bones. So ham hocks, anything that's raw meaty bones, those are really good to clean their teeth. And hey, can you stay in the litter box? He's like, no, I'm gonna go walk around. So you want to do that because it's really good for cleaning their teeth.
Really quick, Josh said, I can be your camera guy. I'm only an hour flight from San Francisco.
Okay, we'll see you Thursday.
I think JetBlue's having some sales.
JetBlue might be having sales, according to Julie. So Thursday, 6 o'clock next week. In all seriousness, anybody who is interested in helping and volunteering, we could use all the help we can get, because
It's quite the production.
it's quite the production.
I had no idea.
All right, I do have some other things that are not like food that we normally eat, like houseplants and things that we'll go over here in a few minutes. But before I do that, do we have any questions at this point, Lex? Or
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I know this is not a household hazard, but are there any vaccines that you don't recommend for Klee Kai? I heard the lepto shot can be risky.
Yeah, I'll let Julia answer too. But for me personally, we don't like lepto. But she worked as a vet tech for a long time, so she has a lot of knowledge.
There are options where, or I guess not options. There are times when lepto is a better risk. What I would say is talk to your vet, because it really does depend on where you live and whether, like where we live, lepto's not an issue. Like it just isn't. We don't need it. But there are some places where you're better off getting the shot. Now that being said, if I had to get a shot, or if I had to get a lepto shot for my puppy, I would definitely not do it at the same time as the other shots. Limit it, because we have seen that some Klee Kai are sensitive to it. So talk to your vet, see if it's necessary in your area, or if they just do it out of habit, because those are two different things. And if you need to have it done, space it out. Do puppy shots, on this day, do the lepto shot on another day, and just space it out. That would be my advice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sean said, "You're amazing, Julie. You made Diamond so happy. You have a great heart." That was back when you were
Desiree's
talking
the
about.
only one I would have trusted to do that.
I know, when I was like, hey, Julie, I really need a favor. How old are those puppies you have? Yeah. She's a really good friend of mine. We would probably do the same for each other at any time. Like, that's just what you get whenever you have a long, long time friend.
Huh.
Like, she used to call Alexis Squirt.
Still does.
I still call her
I
Squirt.
still
You
call her
should have
Squirt.
seen my card she
By the
just
way-
gave me.
Yesterday was Alexis's birthday, everybody. Everybody tell her happy birthday. Yesterday, my little baby, Squirt, princess, turned 20. 20. She got a new car. So I think she's happy.
I haven't seen the new comic.
But I know it's out there somewhere. Yeah, so tell her happy birthday. And Lex, do you have more questions or can we keep going?
Yeah, I have a few more.
All right.
This one's not a question, but Lauren said, I thought it was funny when you answered my question about the tea bag. My Klee Kai looked up at the TV and he knew that you were talking about me.
That's funny.
Linda said, how about bully sticks? Can they choke when they get small?
Yeah, definitely they can. And so when we have little puppies, we like to give them the thin ones if we're home, because they still can't get into the thin ones and it will last them a long time. But the older dogs definitely have the thicker ones. And when they do get small, we toss them, throw them away. They also sell different little holders where you can stick the bully stick in it, and that way the end of it doesn't go into your puppy's mouth. We don't use them, but.
No, I've talked to people that do though, and they seem to work, and I'm hearing that third hand, but they seem to work pretty good, so.
Kira, quit eating that. Get over here. Okay, any others?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on other vegetables, onions aside, like cooked vegetables?
I don't know. I don't feed my dogs people food at all.
Thank you, Sandy.
Talking to the wrong person.
Sandy always loves to give Alexis, spoiling her with money. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
Aw, you guys are the best.
Thank you, Cindy.
Great. Now she's going to want to go to Starbucks every day.
Happy birthday again.
Yeah, so it's funny because Julie said the same thing I said. Like, we don't give people food. We don't do it.
One thing that I do know, I know of a couple people that do it often, and I've done it with we have a German Shepherd also, and so he gets that as a sweet treat in the summer. Our baby carrots. We'll take those tiny little baby carrots and either freeze them or keep them in the fridge so they're cold. And so they're cold and they're sweet, and the dogs love those. So I would give my dogs carrots, raw carrots. I usually don't cook things for them like that in general. But really, I don't feed them. I don't feed them people food.
Yeah, so it's funny because we both talk about the same thing. Like, we don't really feed people food. But I will say I wrote down some plants and things, and
Hold on, we got a super chat with a question.
okay.
Really quick though, Jocelyn said it was her birthday yesterday too.
Oh,
She
really?
said only double your age.
Happy birthday, Jocelyn.
And then Cindy said, what is the best way to treat hot shots on your dog's leg when they won't stop licking the same spot?
Cone. Put a cone on their head and don't let them lick it. It's the only way it heals. As long as they're licking, it won't heal. And they're going to hate the cone, and the cone is annoying, but that's going to be the easiest and fastest way to do it.
Yeah, unfortunately. But back to the food and things, I will say I found when I was looking at the plants that asparagus plants, which I don't know who grows asparagus plants, but I found out that they are on the list. So I'm guessing if the plant can't be eaten, I don't know if the actual asparagus can be eaten. It might just be the leaf. I'm not sure. But since we don't, yeah, I wouldn't risk it. I mean, the best thing to do is, guys, don't feed your dog people food. Don't let your kids feed your dog people food, because once you do, you're going to ruin them. And they're going to become picky eaters, and you just don't know what's toxic and what's a hazard and what's not. So just don't do it.
Cindy said, thank you, the cone of shame, LOL.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Do you have any others? I have
no,
some plants.
Okay. Well, I just have plants.
Yeah, I have some plant ones as well. And so, like...
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, Catherine. Does she get to buy her mama one too?
Well, with all this money.
She has other birthday money on.
Yeah, I think we're good. I get Starbucks too, I think. She did buy me Starbucks the other day because hers was free. Yes, yesterday, right?
Yeah, yesterday.
Hers was free from her birthday. So.
Yeah, because I only had class for 30 minutes.
That's right. Yeah, Alexis got her entire setup for school. She went and got her. What did you get?
My scrubs.
Her scrubs.
My stethoscope, my blood pressure cuff, my bedpan.
Yeah, her bedpan. She gets practice on her boyfriend. She's ready. Ready for the nurses. All right. So plants. There's a bunch. There's so many, guys. I'm not going to list them all. But I'll just go through a few that I know, like we've had. Sago palms. Did you know sago palms, like every part of a sago palm is toxic to your dog? So that's one. Do you know off the top of your head some?
I do, and I'm drawing a blank. The what are those ones that we get at Christmas? What's the red leaves?
Oh, it's with the P. Poinsettia.
Yes, poinsettias. Those are toxic.
Yes.
Because I had them in my yard. Somebody planted them in my front yard when we bought the house. So we had to go through and pull them all out. Poinsettias. But yes, those are toxic. So if you have dogs, just get plastic.
Yeah, exactly. Fake is the best. Birds of paradise. I'm just going to go through a bunch real fast that I wrote down. Birds of paradise, desert rose, corn plant, elephant ear. I had elephant ears for years. They were in my front yard, and I loved them. I did not know that they were toxic to dogs. ZZ plant. Don't know what it is, but it's on the list. Dumb cane. Do you know what dumb cane is?
I don't even know what that is.
I don't either. Jade, ivy, and aloe vera. Interesting. Apparently, there's some type of calcium oxalate
Oh, this I don't.
that is on these plants, and so if they digest those plants, that stuff goes into the dog's blood system and causes major problems. Who knew? So I have a whole list, guys, of tons and tons and tons. I will get it on the website. I'll let all of you guys know once it's up, just so that you guys can refer back to it. And I think it'll be good for everyone to be able to go back and forth. So there's tons more. I'm not going to go through all of it because we have such a busy, busy day. I know that you guys want to see Dakota puppies and all the other puppies and the ultrasound and all kinds of fun stuff. So do we have any questions on this topic?
No.
Yay! That means you guys are all taking notes. That's what it means, I'm sure. Hey, we didn't talk about our thumbs ups. How many thumbs ups do we got?
45.
All right, guys. So for those of you new people, are there any new people?
I didn't see any.
Um,
Well, at least nobody said it.
okay, so if you guys are new or if you're not new, just a reminder, give us a thumbs up because YouTube likes to see a thumbs up. And of course, we like to know that we are giving you guys valuable information. And Eric says yes. I think that's for new. No, maybe not. I'm not going to even bother reading that. I get distracted. I start reading it and Alexis gets mad.
Oh. Jocelyn said, do you have a recommendation on an odor reducer to use on turf? Our backyard is all turf.
Yes. Wishy wash.
Wizzy Wash.
Wizzy. Is it Wizzy?
It's Wizzy. WYSI. Wizzy Wash.
Wizzy wash. It's the best.
It's it breaks down. It breaks it down. It's the best one.
Yeah, and there are some other cleaners, but that's what we both use. Julie referred me to that. Julie's also the one who referred me to the litter boxes. See why she's my best friend? That's why I keep her around.
Good to be useful.
So there are a few other things. I think even Home Depot carries something, but I would say go with the Wizzy Wash. It's amazing, and it lasts a long, long time. Long time. You just connect it to the water hose. So you don't even have to use it just for the fake grass. You can use it on concrete, your patios.
And it's safe for your dog.
Yeah,
That's the big key for us, obviously. So
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about. It's it smells like chlorine, but it's not chlorine. It's one of the molecules close to chlorine. But
Welcome
it's safe
all
for
you
your
new
dog.
people.
Welcome, new people. Nice to see you guys here. I'm so glad you guys got to join us. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. We do go live every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Joanna's asking how she gives you a thumbs up. She's on her phone.
So when you're looking on your phone, there should be like a little thumb, a thumb up and a thumb down next to a subscribe button. If you hit the little thumb up, it's just a little button that you'll hit. That is, so you might have to turn your phone. So if you're looking at the full screen, turn your phone so that you can see the entire description, and then you should be able to see it. So I want to talk about the signs of poison or toxicity in your dogs, because along with knowing what the hazards are, what do you guys need to know next? And that is like, what are the signs? So some of the signs to be aware of if you think your dog did eat a grape or get into a plant is a lot of the normal obvious things, but let's just run through them real fast. Vomiting, diarrhea, upset stomach. I don't know how we know a dog has an upset stomach except that they're kind of lethargic and laying around. They don't really want to do anything. They just don't feel good. Seizures, loss of appetite, drooling, abnormal behavior, excessive thirst or urination, and weakness. So there's a lot of different symptoms. And so don't get freaked out if your dog has one thing and all of a sudden you guys think that we got into something. These are just signs that there could be, hey, Nala, be nice, a problem. So my next tip for you guys is, how do you guys handle an emergency? Something that's super important that we probably overlook a lot of times is storing in your phone your emergency vet phone number. Like, we all end up storing our normal vet's phone number, right? We know our normal vet's information and ours. But most of us don't know where an emergency vet is, especially if you have a brand new puppy, what their phone number is, what's the closest one, what are their hours. So that's something you guys should take a few minutes and look into. And if you don't know or you feel better asking your vet, ask your vet who they recommend. And store that in your phone as well, because a lot of times when something happens, we're in panic mode, and then it's like, who do we call? Where do we go? We don't know what we're doing. So be prepared and plan ahead and store that in. And then the other thing, and I want, Alexis, I didn't put this in the system. If you could put this phone number up on the screen for everybody. This is a poison control hotline number. So this is another number that you guys should have stored in your phone.
Go ahead.
It is 855-764-7661. So store that number in your phone, 855-764-7661. So she's going to plug that up on the screen. You can always rewind back. And once I do get this all up on the website, I'll let you guys know, and I'll have that phone number on there as well. So that would be good for you guys to have just in case you're not sure. But it's a hotline just like for humans, but it's for pets. And they'll be able to direct you in the right way, at least. And then last is, it's always better to be safe than sorry. So if you do feel like something's wrong and your dog probably got into something, they're not acting right, take them to the vets. Don't just wait around. Don't just keep doing your own research. Take them to the vets. Your dog's life could be at risk. So do your part and get everything out of harm's way, just like you're bringing home a new toddler, and teach the kids not to give them all this stuff. But accidents happen, so be prepared.
Hey, Lindsay asked about Kiara, if she's given birth yet.
No. Her first due date was 2 days ago. Remember, we talked about that before, like, first due date. Some dogs give birth, like, on the exact due date, like clockwork. And then some like to wait a week, 5 days, and put us through agony. But no, not yet. But I thought she was going to deliver yesterday. She's really panting a lot and digging, but no signs. Today, back to normal, even 8. Okay, so I think that's it for my hazards. Alexis, do you have any other questions?
No, you're good.
All right, we're good.
Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you, Natasha, our lovely Natasha. Natasha is an OB doctor, and she is the one who helped us with the ultrasound to learn, like, where everything is. So I was hoping, I made Julie help me. I didn't make it. She helped me do an ultrasound on Sky so that you guys could see a footage, and we're going to show you that here in a minute. But I was hoping that she had some experience since she worked at a vet's office. How long did you work at a vet's office?
Oh, 6 years?
6 years? So she has some good experience. I call her whenever I don't know what's going on.
We didn't ultrasound though.
But we did ultrasound, and you didn't do ultrasound.
No, we did.
Yeah.
We did it.
Liz asked if she started going into labor during the live, could we watch?
I don't think you would want that. You really wouldn't. But I probably wouldn't, no. Just because you just never know what's going on. And dogs sometimes, they don't like all of this. When they're in labor, like imagine if you're in labor and you're having a kid. Do you want all of this crazy lights and sounds? No, they really want it to be quiet, darker, where they can nest and do their thing. So I probably wouldn't. Plus, there's always that chance of emergency and stuck puppies, and so you'll see me in a panic. So no. But if there's no other questions on this, then I think we can show the video. What do you think?
Lauren said, can dogs have Braxton Hicks?
I don't know.
Probably.
I
don't
guess
know.
they probably could, but I don't know that we would notice that it was even happening,
No.
to be honest.
Sure.
Unless they happen to be sitting in your lap at the time or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
To the giving birth thing, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up. To the
That's okay.
giving birth thing, Liz said, no, I'm not a Kardashian, LOL.
That's why most puppies, and if you track them, at least on mine, I know that's true. Most puppies are born at night.
Thank
And
you,
that
Yvonne.
goes back to their instinctual stuff. They will wait until it's dark and it's quiet and the house settles down, and that's when they'll have their puppies.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I can't always get video footage. Can we move to the ultrasound, Lex, or do you still have anything you want to go over?
No, you're good.
Okay, so before Alexis pushes play, I'm going to go around so that I could narrate, because when we filmed, we were kind of in a rush, and I didn't do any narrating on it, so that way you guys can see what we see or what we think we see. And so I'm going to run over there. We'll leave Julie here. She can babysit.
I can play with puppies.
You can try. They're all busy now. So I am going to head over there. Let me just do this real fast. And then you got a puppy trying to knock your water over.
I've been trying. It's
Okay. So
Come here. You come see me.
here we
You come see me. Your mama's busy. I might just steal you.
All right, go ahead. Okay, so this is Sky, who is due in 2 weeks. So obviously it's pretty far along for us to be doing an ultrasound for a true count. You guys saw her last week. If we get time, I'll bring her out again. She's pretty big. So I'll tell you what we think. Right here, what we're seeing is a puppy. You see that heartbeat? You see the flutter? If Natasha's on here, hopefully she can confirm. But there's some flutter. Now, do you see that puppy moving? Do you see the tail? Like, you see the whole body. Look at his little, he's moving a lot. Do you see all that? All right, so that was a puppy. And then that's still the same puppy. So up on the top right part is the head, if I know what I'm doing. And now we're moving over to another, what I think is a puppy spine, which is kind of grainy there. But if you see those little spiny bone pieces a second ago, we think that was some spine. And there's some movement on the left and the right. So in that view right there, you see that moving, puppy moving left side. And we'll be, and then the right, I believe there's 2 there. And then we're going to move over here in a second and we'll see. Or this one might end. Okay, and now, so in that one, play the other one. So that was one, and then we did one more. It was at the same time, but I just didn't want them to be real long. So look at that very strong heartbeat right there, right in the center. Flutter, flutter, flutter. And then, let's see. He's moving. You see the movement? And then I move over to another spot. And there's another puppy right there. You see that? I think that is a head and a body. But it's definitely a puppy. And this is almost over. So at this point, I think, I don't know what you're pointing at. I think there's 4. Because we're so far along that we cannot see all of the puppies in one view. And remember that dogs have puppies in multiple sides. So it's not like a human where it's all together. There's multiple horns. So they can have it on the left horn and the right horn. And have, oh good, Natasha's on here. Yeah, so I think we saw 4. I'm going to go back in with Julie, but we just wanted to show you guys that real quick ultrasound. Julie, you're on the live. Maybe I should let her run the show. What do you guys think?
I'm out of my topics, though.
How do you avoid tear stains?
Really good question. We don't. Tear stains can come from a variety of things. Sometimes it's a matter of filtering your water. If you happen to have water that has a lot of solids in it, if you have really heavy water, sometimes that can contribute to it. Sometimes it's food allergies. So food allergies can cause it. Sometimes it's the actual tear duct. If the tear ducts are too tiny, which happens sometimes, that can cause it. So my best advice is if your dog has tear staining, keep them clean. Just take a quick, a little washcloth, and once a day, twice a day, just wipe it. Keep them as clean as you can, and that's the only way that you're going to really
minimize
it. There are products to get rid of it. I hesitate to go to those products because they're all chemical based, and you're putting all that right around their eyes. So that kind of makes me nervous. And it really is a matter if you just keep it clean and keep working on it, they will fade and they'll get better. So it's more of a combination of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny because we obviously didn't sit here and talk, and we don't know what questions are going to come up. But from those of you guys that have been on here before and we've talked about that, those are the same things that I said, right? That's pretty funny. So I think we know our stuff, some of it. But there's so many things, like she said. So, good question. Next.
Jocelyn said, I see 2, probably 3. And then she said, by the way, my husband's an ER doctor. We'd happily drive up and play with some doggies while my husband helps with ultrasound.
Nice. ER doctor on call. I love it. That's awesome. He's an ER doctor for humans, I'm guessing. But let me know if he's for pets. That would be cool. All right. Now, you can keep going, Lex, if you have anything.
I'm good.
Okay, so since we don't have anything right now on there, we'll move over to our next topic in a second. But I just want to do a couple of reminders.
Really quick.
Yes.
Yvonne asked, okay, what are tear stains?
Tear staining, well, like I was saying, a lot of things can cause it. But basically, it's the enzymes in the tears are interacting with the fur, basically, and you'll see they'll start getting, it'll start in the corner of their eye, and sometimes it can go all the way down. It can turn the entire area under their eye, usually this reddish brown color, and that has to do with just the chemical reaction, basically, that's happening from those tears and the outside world.
Yeah.
So
you'll see it on some dogs. In fact, like you could see, so you guys talk about, well, my dogs don't have it. Some of my dogs do have it, but most don't. But sometimes it just comes and goes. It's like allergy season, or it's really windy or dusty out. If there's construction going on, and you'll see it just randomly pop up. And lately, Rue's been crying a lot, but it also has been windy. So I'm going to get up close just so you guys can see. Now, she has dark coloring under her eyes, so it's not as easily seen, but you can see, huh?
You need the light.
Oh, yeah, I do. But you can see that there's a little bit of darker right at the inside of her eyes. Do you see that?
It's focused on the caterpillar.
Of course it is. It always wants to focus on something other than the dog.
No, back up just a little bit.
Focusing or no?
No. I don't know why. It was. And, oh, perfect.
Okay.
So you barely can see it. Now, it's not very bad, and it'll go away. She normally doesn't have tear staining. But that's just an example of sometimes it'll come and go. Hey, Lex, can you put it on the little... Oh, never mind. I'm going to put it on them. I forgot I could do it. I forgot.
Jocelyn said, yes, humans, but same idea.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look how pretty you look, Mama.
There's Kira, guys. So, we are going to, if you don't have anything right now, Alexis, I'm just going to go over a few things real fast for anybody who's just jumping on.
Go for it.
We're giving away 2 things. Alexis is going to be picking here pretty soon because it is going to be 7.
Well, it's not on you anymore.
Oh, yeah. Can we switch
Switched
it?
it.
Oh, little baby. All right, did you put it back?
Oh, that's a cute one.
Okay, so this really cute purple hoodie is getting gifted to somebody today. Alexis is going to pick. It's going to be a super chat or a super sticker, okay? And I have multiple sizes, so whoever it is, I'll email you. Well, she'll announce it here shortly, and then we'll find out what size. And then she's going to pick somebody that's not a super chat or a super sticker, and they're going to get a Halloween mask, okay? So those are the 2 things we're going to be giving away today. I know you guys are all dying to see Dakota's puppies, so I want to get Dakota's puppies in here, and while they're in here, we'll talk about the tip of the day. So something new I decided to start doing with you guys is the tip of the day. And last week we talked about one of the questions that came up, and I said I was actually having the same problem, is excitement pee. So it could be called excitement peeing, or sometimes it can be submissive peeing. And so I want to talk about that briefly, but before I do, you guys get your questions ready. But before I do, I'm going to grab Dakota's puppies and put them in here along with everybody else. God be with us.
Okay.
Hey, honey, can you help me grab Dakota's puppies? Yes, Lex?
Hey, I have my 2 winners.
Oh, she already has them? Well, it's only 7.
I know.
No, wait.
Okay.
Especially, you can do the mask, but I want to wait on the sweatshirt because I want to give everybody a little more time. Because the sweatshirt's going to super chat or super sticker, and some people jump on a little later, so I don't want to do it too soon.
You're right.
But the mask you could if you want. If not, just wait. Okay, Julie.
Okay.
You get to stay. You want to talk about anything? Oh, now's a great time to talk about your...
Okay. I can talk about my dog.
So Julie has a few dogs that she is looking to rehome. So she's going to talk to you guys about that.
I have a couple of retirees / rescue dogs. They're dogs that came back to me for a variety of reasons, but a couple of them are older. So the first one is Maverick. Maverick is a black and white, brown-eyed miniature. He is 8 years old. He is neutered. He is housebroken. And he's a great dog. He just doesn't do well. They never taught him to be around little kids. So he needs a home, not around kids. But he's a great dog and super sweet. Another one I have, his name is, they named him Bowser. I call him Bo. He's a gray and white, bi-eyed miniature. He's 11 years old, and he came back to me because his family moved to Hong Kong, and they didn't take him with him. So he is, his only issue, honestly, is that he does need a prescription food. So keep him on a certain kibble, and he does great. Take him off the kibble, and he has episodes of diarrhea. So, but those are 2 ones that I'm looking for. I've got a couple others, but those are the 2 I'm focusing on right now. So if you're interested in a retiree or an older dog, or, you know, Bowser has this special food, special needs kind of thing, let me know. Contact me, and my info's on the, well, Alexa's got it up, and we can go from there.
All right, I decided to wait on bringing the puppies in because they're going to be loud when we were talking.
Oh, I wondered why it was taking so long.
No, it's just that I didn't want them all crazy.
Thank you, everybody, for the stickers.
Hey, what are you singing now? Did you play it all out?
Talk, Juju.
Talk. No. See, I don't do this live thing. I don't know what to talk to them about. You were supposed to have puppies nearby when I finish. Oh. So I'm definitely getting my puppy fixed. So we haven't had puppies at my house since this spring, so I'm having a lot of fun.
All right, so on the topic of puppy hazards, something that I wanted to talk about and I forgot because we got crazy busy is collars. I want to show that one because it's stuck around there, so I want to show that specifically.
Yes.
So puppy hazards. We talk about all the time that I don't leave the collars on the little puppies. And there are several reasons. They chew them off of each other. So they're in the pen right here, and this one is already off. So that's a good example. But remember last week, the tiny red had her leg stuck through the collar? And guess what? We just put these on before we went live. And once again, little Tiny has her, I see. Hi, thank you. Has her collar
You're just going to stand there, weren't you?
wrapped around her leg yet again. So another hazard is their collar. You want to make sure, now I've got this tiny puppy who doesn't even weigh 2.5 pounds. She weighs I don't think she weighs 2 yet. Remember, we weigh on Fridays. So the smallest collar I could find her doesn't fit her. And I'm only putting it on so that the people that are getting little Paprika know who she is. But I don't leave them on because it's not safe. So, hazards. Even whenever you have an older dog, for example, I put collars on Taz and Kira. And Taz, I don't have a lot of boy collars because I always buy the cute girl collars. It's like girls and boys, and when you have children, you buy the girls all the cute fluffy stuff and you buy the boys just the boring stuff. So I put a collar on him that was for boys, pretty much. It was too big. And what did he do? He tried to bite it off and it got stuck around his mouth like this. And this is something that if you're not home, guys, this can be really, really scary. And your dog's going to freak out and it's going to hurt. So his mouth, the collar was on, but he had it like this. Hopefully you guys can see that. So pretty scary situation. Make sure your guys' collars fit your puppy or don't leave them on when you're not home. And I know all of you guys want to see these little puppies up close.
I have a question for Julie.
No, but Tess. Leave that baby alone.
Julie, why did you start breeding the Klee all those years ago?
That goes back. I actually got into showing and breeding dogs when I was little. I was 10 years old the first time I took a dog into the show ring. And so growing up, we had miniature schnauzers. And because everybody in my family is allergic to dogs. So we had miniature schnauzers. And that's what I had until we got our first Klee Kai. We got our first Klee Kai because it was my husband's turn to pick a dog. And he decided he wanted a small dog. He's a German Shepherd guy, mostly. But he noticed that whenever we went places, it was harder to take his Shepherd. So he wanted a little dog. So I gave him one of those dog books, those dog encyclopedia breed books, years and years ago. And I said, well, think about what you want. And I gave him the whole spiel that we give to people at the clinic that I worked at. Think about what you want in a dog and all that jazz. And he came to me and he found the Klee Kai in it. And I was just like, oh, good Lord. And so, but that's what he wanted. So we got on a list, and this was way back when you got on a list and you literally hoped you got a dog within, 3 years, 4 years, if you were lucky. So I was honestly, at that time, I was hoping that he would lose interest. Because I had my miniature schnauzers and I didn't really want him to get other little dogs in there because that was take up space. But we got our first Klee Kai, and I started taking her to the vet clinic with me for socialization, and she became my dog. And I never had another schnauzer.
See that? She got one over. Yeah. That's kind of a funny story because normally you would think like a Klee Kai, fluffy, foo-foo, more like, and it was the husband who was like, this is my dog. And then of course she picked you. All right. I know if you want up close and personal.
Really quick again.
You can talk.
This is for Julie again. Is it Bo? That's the name that you said, right?
Yes.
They said, how old is Bo again, and is he good with kids?
Bo is 11, and he's been good around the kids that I've had him around. He's being 11. He's not the kind that's gonna be super playful, like your younger dogs are. But he really doesn't care about kids one way or the other.
Is it not focusing?
No.
Come, Larry.
Focusing on Julie.
Oh, it's eyeballs. I forget.
I'll duck behind you.
Perfect.
All right, there's little tiny.
Paprika.
Paprika.
Be nice to the babies. Mr. Tevix.
Honey said his Taz doing well. I know he's crazy.
Yes, he's doing well. But do you see that craziness over there?
He was bullying the little one.
He's a bully.
He's a bully, aren't you?
He tries to bully everybody. I don't remember who's who right now, guys. I'm
It's
not.
not focused.
Kisses. Kisses.
It's Julie again.
All right.
They're
Trying
too
to hide
close.
behind you.
Right there.
Oh, that's a good shot.
She's looking right up, huh?
She's looking right at the lens.
That was cute. All right,
Who else do you need?
I need one of those. Yep. All right, little Miss Pinky. Thanks, babies.
Hi.
And then you need pumpkin.
Yeah, I gotta
Red
find
color?
her. Yes.
Ah, I got a red color.
Focus.
Oh, you are too.
Where are you going? You're looking over that way. They want to see you over there, mommy. Okay. I like having two people. Julie's gonna have to come here and stop working. I'm gonna have to come here every Thursday.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, Matthew.
And you're good, Mom.
All right, that's Dakota's babies. You guys got to see them. I already know what's next. Can we see the other babies?
Yeah, Catherine just said, can we see Aggie's puppy?
Yes, we could see Aggie's puppies. Let me look at my list before I grab the little ones because I don't want the little ones to be all up in everybody's.
Jeremy said, I don't think they're very foo at all. They look like tiny wolves.
Yeah. What I do want to talk about, we will get. Wait, I got this. You better be nice.
What's he doing?
Did it switch, Lex?
Yeah, you're good, Mom.
No, I switched it onto the phone.
I know.
Okay.
Thank you, Liz. She has a super chat.
Okay, go ahead.
Who was the ultrasound of, and how many more litters are you expecting this month?
Taz, be nice. You're gonna go in timeout. Get over here. So that was with Sky, and she's doing a few weeks. So it's really late in the game, but I know you guys like seeing ultrasound. So she's doing a few weeks. So Kiara's due any day, then Sky, and right now that's all we know. Winter is always busy time for us. So summer, winter, although nowadays it's always busy. But winter we usually have several litters. We did breed a few dogs, but we don't know much yet. So right now that's all I know for sure. You're a bad boy. You're a bad boy.
Pumpkin, your mama's on.
Pumpkin, there she is. That's Julie likes that one too.
This one has some brains. I see the thinking in this one. To watch them.
So guess what, Katie? She says she's got the brains. She's thinking a lot.
Thank you, Scott.
All right. Okay, I'll put it back on this one. All right. So
I already did.
before I grab the other babies and before I go over the excitement peeing tip of the day, I wanted to ask your guys' opinion because your opinion matters. We talked about a while ago. We talked about adding established 2003 onto our logo and all of our merchandise and things. And so I was playing around with it. Katie even knows this because I was going back and forth with her. But I just don't know which one to go with. So I numbered them 1 through 6. I'm going to hold them up to the camera real fast. I should have put it on the computer so you could dump it on there, but I didn't. Okay. And so I did it a few different ways. If you guys can do me a favor, just put it in the comments what you guys think.
Julie, I have a question.
Can I see that real fast?
It's not focused.
Get it focused and then you made a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good now. Julie, what are your thoughts on adopting Bo and a puppy? Would he be okay?
You know what? I think he would be. I haven't had him around young puppies, but honestly, I don't think he'd care. He's kind of a chill dog that he just kind of goes with the flow a lot. He there are some dogs that we've come across over the years that I could tell you yes or no, definitely him. I think he would probably be fine. But I wouldn't foresee a problem with that with him.
Mm-hmm. So do me a favor, guys. Put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
They already are.
You guys are the best. Remember, I watch this every Thursday night with my husband, so I don't get 2 hours. I get 4 hours because I rewatch it every Thursday.
You
And
hear what we have so far?
no, I'll
see
look
a
through
lot
it all
of
because
numbers.
it's gonna be all over the place.
Oh, it
Keep
is.
them coming though because I really need your guys' assistance with this. My brain's fried. I don't know. I give up. So you tell me, and then whoever majority wins, we'll go with whatever the majority is, I suppose. So thank you guys for giving me that information. Okay, I am going to get the puppies real fast, okay? And then we're gonna talk about excitement peeing and some tips on how to avoid it or cure it, I guess, deal with it, fix it. I will tell you that I've been practicing with Kira because I told you guys last week she started all of a sudden doing it. And so some of it I know is working. We'll see. So in the meantime, you guys keep asking Julie questions. What I'm going to do is just grab each puppy and I'm going to just hold them up because that'll be easier. That way I don't have to take anybody out. Okay? So if you guys have questions for Julie, ask her, ask away. They don't even have to be specific for her about her dogs, but it could also just be about the breed. Remember, she's been breeding just as long as I have. So you get 2 for the price of 1.
Where are you going?
We're going to get Aggie's first, but we'll just, if you could do me a favor. And
This
then,
is great. I get to play with puppies and I don't have to clean up after them. Huh.
It's just like when you see somebody that has a baby.
Right?
You
Same
get to
thing.
play with the baby and you get to have fun with the baby, but then you get to go home without the baby.
And you don't have to change the diapers, right? Hi.
Thank you, Joanna.
Hi.
Tanya said, is there anything specifically toxic to Klee Kai?
I don't know of anything that's specific to Klee Kai, but it's more of just a general dog thing, honestly. If it's toxic to dogs or not is probably the better question to ask.
When do they slow down growing?
That varies. I think most Klee Kai are done with their height and length growth somewhere around 9 to 12 months, give or take. But they don't stop growing there. They'll then start putting on weight and filling out body mass wise until they're 2 to 3 years old, generally. Did you find a bully? It's as big as you are. It's as big as you are. I have a really great picture that I got from a puppy owner once who, and I don't have it right, it's on my phone, but it showed a great picture they took of their dog when it was 1, 2, and 3 years old in the same exact spot in their house. And then they collaged it together and it really shows the body mass that they put on. And I often describe it to people as a difference between like a 17-year-old boy and a 25-year-old man. You know, they reach their height and they're tall, but they haven't put on that body mass yet. So it's different in how when they quit growing. They're kind of 2 different pieces of that.
I missed how long. Oh, hold on. Missed the question. I missed how long you've been breeding and you've had your kennel.
I got my first Klee Kai in 2002. So that's when we started.
No.
We didn't actively get into showing them though, and that whole scene until we're originally from Oregon and we moved to California in 2004. So it was in 2004 that we met. That was when we moved down here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And how did we meet?
we met because I was looking for a stud dog. I had girls. I didn't have. Well, I had a girl. One girl.
Without everyone
Yes.
trying to get her.
I did not have
Maggie's
any
gonna get
boys,
mad.
and
Leave 'em.
so I started looking for a stud dog in my area, and that's how I found Desiree.
Mm-hmm.
And you've known us for a little over 15 years now.
Yeah. Alexis was a baby.
No, she wasn't even. I remember Alexis's first day of kindergarten.
Okay. Real quick. I can't. Aggie's going to get mad with all these dogs smelling her babies. So I'm going to do this fast. Lex, tell me
Yeah,
if
you're
they're...
good.
All right. So there's one. Remember, they're all girls. Rue, leave the puppies alone. Aggie's going to get mad. All right.
Rue.
And then another. This one's the darkest.
That's good
No.
too.
Remember we talked in the past about red tinge and staining and that it'll go away, but not all of them get it. Some do. So this puppy has it really, hey, Nova, leave the baby alone. Has it a lot. So all of this tinge that you see on her paws and on her face is from the mommy's milk and nursing. And it's weird how this one that's very, very light doesn't have it, and the darkest one does have it. So it's just random. I don't know why, but it will go away. Usually, once they start eating real food and they are not nursing a lot, it'll all go away. And by the time they go home, for sure, it's gone. So I know you guys are probably wondering eye color. I don't know for sure. Remember, they're still too young. We don't talk too much about it. You could see some of the eyes. No. Leave the baby alone. Leave the baby alone. All right, so that's Aggie and Klaus's little girls. 3 girls. You're going to ask me next, when do we offer them? It'll be a little while still. And then, let me see if they have questions for them before I grab Khaleesi's puppies. Are we good?
Hang on. Matthew, I'm not seeing your question. If you want to type it right now, I can answer it. He messaged and said that his question was above his sticker, but I don't see his question. It was, at least on my screen, I don't have his question above the sticker.
Okay.
But I do have questions while I'm waiting for him.
Put it.
Oh! Come here. You got run over. Baby girl.
When can you make a good guess if a puppy will be toy, mini, or standard?
I want to hear what Julie has to say about that, but I estimate when they're about 4 weeks old, and that's just based on my experience, what their birth weight is, how they're growing, their parents, all kinds of fun stuff. But it is always just an estimate and not something that we can guarantee, because why? Why do you have to be living up to your name? Why? Yeah, that's what
I
happens.
usually do the same thing. I say 3 to 5 weeks, but it's all dependent. You know, if it's parents that I have a lot of information on, a lot of, past litter information on, then I can usually start predicting around 3 to 4. If it's a new mom, it's probably going to be 4 to 5 before I start guesstimating. And even then, I always call it a guess.
Yeah, exactly. There's no guarantee. Did Matthew respond? Look, now Kira's doing it. This is why we can't have little puppies in with big puppies.
No.
Okay, so you guys probably want to see.
But I have another question.
Okay, did Matthew respond?
No.
I hope he's on still.
He just sent it a few minutes ago.
Okay.
But me and Kylie went back up to his sticker, and neither of us are seeing the question, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, maybe it didn't go through. So hopefully he can send it again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to grab Khaleesi's 2 puppies real fast. Khaleesi and Simba have 2 boys, a red and white boy and an all white boy. So I'll grab them real fast. It has to be fast so we can leave everybody else in here. Like, can you babysit the
Yes.
brat?
Take the task.
Do you have any experience with dog agility with the Klee Kai?
Not personally. Agility is something I've been wanting to do for years. The honest answer is I just haven't had the time. Points to all of those Klee Kai people that get their dogs out and are doing agility. That's one of my retirement goals. But watching Klee Kai in agility, yes. I love to watch that when we go to any of the shows that have it. Premiere is a lot of fun that way. And they do well. It's kind of a double-edged sword because Klee Kai are very agile. They're very fast. Jumping, running, all that stuff. They excel at it. From what I see when I watch, the challenge comes in keeping them focused. They can, they can get bored because they're so smart. They think they know what they're doing. I've seen them go off course because they don't feel like doing that today. And that can be said, albeit for any other breed as well. Your dog is only as good as it wants to be that day. And some days your dog just does not want to perform. But they do very, very well in agility, generally speaking. It just takes patience and work.
She's gonna go crazy now.
I know. I'm gonna make it quick.
Come here.
I know. They all want to murder every puppy. Look, you're gonna hurt your babies. Okay.
What are the color of Maggie's puppy's eyes? Do you know yet?
No. One of them I know for sure is double blue. That's the only one I know for sure. The other two, I am pretty positive are not going to be double blue because I should be able to see that right now and I can't. So it's still a guessing game.
Hey, Mom, you have poop all over your hand.
Oh, did you poop on me? Oh yeah, you did. Julie. Oh, never mind. You're holding dogs. Okay, so 2-week-old puppies literally poop uncontrollably. Welcome to our world. At least you told me and didn't leave me like that. Okay, so
Well, I don't want you to get over there
Give me a
and you
hand.
sit in your white
thank
chair.
you. I appreciate it.
Oh my
Huh?
gosh, that would be horrible.
All right, so Khaleesi's going crazy now, and I bet you it's all over this puppy. Here.
I saw it on a foot.
Hold
There's at
this
least a
one
leg.
so I can clean that one. Stay, girls. Leave it. Leave it.
Hold the baby up there. Right.
So as far as the eye colors go, it's hard. I mean, I could give you guys my estimate, but the truth is, like, I could be wrong. When they're not bright blue, by now,
Not for you.
then chances of them being blue is slim to none, but they could be party and or bi-eyed, and so it's pretty tricky to know. Sorry guys, we got this puppy poop fest. It was the red boy. Of course they would be the reds. The reds are
Still
always
one of those?
yes.
I've got drool dripping down my arm.
Okay, I think we got enough cleanness. That was milk. I pulled him off of mom.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why milk doesn't bother me nearly as much as drool.
All right, let's try that again. All right, red boy.
I don't want you guys to
Stop.
No, that's drool.
Are we focused? Are we good?
No. There you are.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you, Rachel, I think. Unless it's pronounced Rochelle.
Oh, she got her
Loves
stuff.
3D mask, and her favorite color is purple, by the way. Wink, wink.
Oh, that's Julie's favorite color too. Julie loves purple.
Yes, that's my kennel color.
Okay, so the red boy has his eyes open. The white boy does not. Barely, barely, barely peeking.
Back.
Are we focusing?
Yes.
All right, so you can see that it's like barely just the creases are starting to crack open. And that just goes to show you that every puppy is different. They don't all grow at the same rate. Khaleesi's going crazy. Everybody else wants the puppies. So I'm going to give them back. And now Alexis is going to say,
Leave it, leave it.
You want to tell them 5 more minutes or for the
Yeah.
winners?
Yeah.
Announce
it's,
that.
7:25. So you have until 7:30 to get your super chat stickers in so that you can win the purple sweater. Julie, I have some more questions for you.
Okay.
What are some common health issues with the Klee Kai?
Common health issues. Generally speaking, we've probably seen one of just about anything you can think of. A lot of one-offs. But I think overall we still struggle with luxating patellas. Although what we see now versus what we saw, 15 years ago is we've done a whole lot better as breeders. I think we still see a lot of that. We see hypothyroidism, which I think is a little more difficult to diagnose. And it can be an adult. Whoa, we didn't jump that far. We tempered it a little. That can be adult onset, usually is adult onset. So unless your dog gives you certain indicators, you don't often see it for a while. We have seen some cardiac issues on the breed. I wouldn't say it's common, but we've seen enough of it that it's probably worth mentioning. I would think those are probably our top ones. Like I said, there's also been one-offs, this, that, and the other, just random dog diseases that pop up.
How do you start getting your Klee Kai into agility?
If you have never done agility before, I would look in your area for groups and clubs that do dog classes. And they usually do obedience, do agility, conformation. That often have a lot of different types of things that they can train on. Nose work. There's literally probably a competition or a game or something for just about anything that you want to do with your dog nowadays. So I would look into it and take a class, because part of agility is not just teaching your dog how to do it, it's teaching you how to correctly manage your dog. Your dog can have it nailed down, and I've seen a lot of dogs lose because of a handler error and not because the dog did anything wrong.
How old is Nova?
Nova was born in April? April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost 6 months, huh?
Yeah.
Mom, I waited because this is a question for you. Which of Aggie's puppies do you think is double blue? Is it the lightest gray?
No. Without even looking, I'm probably guessing that's Catherine.
Yeah.
No, Catherine. She's not. I don't think, anyways. We'll see. There's definitely blue in there, but it's not bright blue, which is usually a sign of party eyes or maybe more hazily looking eyes.
Which one is this? Because I want this puppy.
Mom, you can see it from the normal camera.
But it's so cute.
And then from down here, I get Nova's butt.
Don't move.
Okay, fine. I had to change my shirt, guys. That was a mess.
I wasn't going to tell you.
I squeezed the poop all out that puppy.
What are some less common diseases or problems?
Ooh, less common. That's harder. I don't know those off the top of my head.
Cancer, maybe?
Yeah. And there are a lot, obviously, just like with people, there are a lot of different types of cancer. But I think we see more cancer in dogs in general, too. So
Yeah.
that's not just a Klee Kai thing either. I know.
Let's see, what else?
Trying to think.
Well, something like Addison's or
Addison's disease is a hormonal issue. Has to do with the.
speak up.
I'm trying to think. Addison's, it's hormonal.
I already
That's all
know
I can
people
remember.
know.
I can't hear. Sorry, I don't speak as loud as you do. So that's one of them. I can't think of anything.
I know.
I'm drawing a complete blank.
I'm guessing
Obviously,
that
there are some worth mentioning, but
Yeah, maybe, Alexis, maybe we should make a note of that and we could kind of think of a few things. But the most common, I guess, are probably the patella, liver, maybe.
Liver, but yeah.
And
Let's see if you can come up with the same ones I
I wasn't even here to listen.
I know, I assumed you were. Just want to see. I want to see.
I would say the most common is going to be patella luxation, liver problems, thyroid problems, and
that's exactly what Julie said.
I didn't say liver. I said cardiac.
oh, I wouldn't have thought that. I hardly ever see cardiac.
Well, we don't see a lot of cardiac here.
Okay, see,
But in
Julie.
other areas.
Julie's in cahoots. Julie talks to a lot of other breeders. She's definitely more involved than I am at this point because my life is crazy busy raising kids, and
I don't have kids.
she don't have to raise kids. She might be the lucky one. So she gets to be able to talk to more breeders and know more things probably than I do on that.
Well, I said on
Right.
cardiac, I wouldn't classify it as common, but enough has popped up that I think it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, and that's like why one of the 4 things we normally test for and OFA certified for is cardiac, because cardiac heart problems is somewhat common in Siberian Huskies, and so Northern breeds, of course, anything that's going to follow with the Husky or whatever our dogs were originally bred with is stuff that we want to pay attention to. But because we also have Alaskan Husky, and Alaskan Husky is a mix of anything and everything that they use for sled dogs, that means that we really don't know a lot of the history of what we could be dealing with. So things could be popping up randomly here and there. But I would say, and I'm assuming you would agree, tell me if you don't, that
Taz,
this, what's he doing now?
he just climbed through the hole inside of the thing, and I could see him on camera doing it.
That's our Tazzy boy.
And now he's back behind on the other side over there.
Now he's got to figure out how to climb back through.
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
He's
no,
just
stuck there.
squeezing.
Well, I don't know.
Who's
Oh
getting
my
this
God.
puppy, but I love this puppy.
They love that
Did
puppy.
you see
She
it?
loves that puppy. Now I lost my train of thought.
Sorry,
That's okay.
he scared me.
You were
Like I just seen half of a puppy disappear.
and
No,
it's something we
I don't know.
I have
I think I need to get on to the excitement pain.
well,
And you need to do your winner.
yeah, it's 7:32, so
All right.
it is time.
All right. Time. Who's getting what do you want to do first? Who's getting the mask?
The mask is gonna be Fabiana,
Oh, Fabiana.
and then the jacket is gonna be Jocelyn.
Oh, Jocelyn, congratulations. Okay, so Fabiana, you are getting a mask. We'll get that out to you before the end of the weekend. And Jocelyn, congratulations. We are going to send you a purple hoodie. Do me a favor so I don't have to do it. If you can email me what size you want, and we'll get that out to you guys. So congratulations. Thank you guys all for the support. As always, every week we give stuff away. And so if you didn't get anything this week or last week, don't worry. There's plenty of weeks to come. All right, so let's talk about excitement pain. I haven't really looked into this prior to now, so this is all new for me as well, and hopefully these tips will be a little beneficial for anybody who's dealing with that, or maybe you might in the future. I guess the first thing to understand is that puppies can only hold their bladder for about 1 hour for every month old they are. So sometimes it's not even excitement pain or submissive pain. It is that they just can't hold their bladder, and we may think it's something else. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And then if you are experiencing that, which we were with Miss Kira for the last week, it says, based on everything I read, that the excitement is a little too much for the puppy, and so their brains, we're talking puppies right now, their brains are overworked and overstimulated, and so much is going on, and that they don't communicate with each other. So the digestive tract's not communicating with the brain, and so much going on, and they don't even realize that they're going. And so we want to avoid that by not overstimulating and not getting them too excited. So how do we do that? So a couple of things we could do is when we first come home or we're first going to greet them, we ignore them. So we don't do the whole running up to your puppy and, oh my God, mommy's home, mommy missed you, or any of that stuff. So if you just ignore the dog and go about your business, you can come into the room, and this is what I've been doing with Kira, is I will come in, but I don't look her straight in the eye. Are you stealing the show? You are stealing the show. That's Paisley. Hi. So, stop. So you want to not look your dog in the eye and not give them a lot of attention. What you can do instead is come down to their level, but don't get all in their face, and just do whatever you're going to do. Like sit there, tie your shoe, whatever. Let the dog come to you. So instead of you going to the dog, let them come to you. Let them calm down and then come to you. So, we're about to send you wherever we can, but here. And then there she goes. All right, so no baby talk. Wait for them to bring down their excitement. Things that can trigger this. So, for example, let's just say they don't do it to you, but they do it to your husband because he's at work all day, and when he comes home, then the puppy gets excited. So if they haven't seen a person in a while, that could trigger it. Direct approaching, which means you're looking them straight in the face, going straight down to them. So no direct approach. So go to the side. Don't look them directly in the eyes. You want to avoid standing directly in front of them. So again, it goes back to the direct approach. And then leaning over them is another trigger that can be it. So you're leaning over. So sometimes it's called submissive peeing and not really excitement peeing. And so when you're leaning over them, they could feel that they need to be submissive. And so they get that little submissive pee. And so if that's what you're seeing, then don't lean over. You know, kneel down to the side and let them come to you. Sometimes it's literally just touching the dog. But it's all related to they're overstimulated, they're too excited, usually, I'm guessing, not always. And so don't instantly just go pet the puppy. Wait and then let them come to you. Talking to the dog in a high-pitched voice can sometimes be a trigger. Loud voices, high-pitched type of thing. So what do you want to do instead? So instead, you want to wait until the dog has time to calm down. You want to let the dog approach you, okay? You want to avoid the direct approach by walking to the side. You want to avoid eye contact. So this isn't avoid eye contact all the time. It's just until the dog is calmed down and the dog is okay and not instantly peeing. So when you first come home, when you first greet them, if you have company over and they do it with your company, then you want to do the same things with the company. So hey guys, not my shoes. There's tons of phones and toys. Not my shoes. No. I know shoes are better. I don't know why. So do this with whoever, friends and family as well, right? You want to make sure that they are on the same page as you. And the more you do this, and the more that your dog gets used to.
She's hoarding over here.
I know. Nola always does that. That's why Nova beats up the puppies, because Nola is the boss of Nova, so then Nova has to be the boss of the babies. All right. I'm losing focus here. So another thing that you want to do instead, don't lean over them. Go to the side, and then let them have time to calm down. So those are the things kind of went over quickly because I know we're running out of time. Now, if you see that your puppy is, when you go to reach them or going to the side or what have you, and they are going down like kind of squatting or tinkling right away, or they roll over, then you need to avoid them. So you're going to walk away. So let's just say you're coming down to your puppy and then you instantly see that they go to squat and pee, or they instantly roll over and you see a little piece of pee coming out. Then you just ignore it. You're not going to clean it up yet. You're not going to yell at them. You're not going to do anything. You're just going to ignore them and turn around and let them calm down. Another thing to do to try to prevent it from happening is when you get home, make sure that you get them out to go potty. Hopefully, if they are releasing their bladder before they have an opportunity to get too excited, that could hopefully eliminate it too. Now, I've tried this recently with a lot of these things, and it does seem to be working. So hopefully, I know last week we had somebody asking about the same thing. So if you're on here, let me know if you try it, and let me know how it goes next week. Do we have questions about that? Where are the babies? Who's the babies? Lex?
Well, I have none on this specific topic,
Okay.
but I do have some in general.
Okay, perfect. It's a free-for-all now, guys. So all of my topics are good. You're good?
Yeah.
We got 20 minutes, so go ahead.
Okay. Tanya said, can Skya and Kiara have gray and white puppies?
So Sky is gray and white. She was bred to a gray and white, so yes. Kiara is red and white, bred to a gray and white, and yes, she could have gray, but she could also have red or white or black, but white. I was thinking white. Yeah, Kiara and Trout have the white gene.
Okay.
Hi. Now puppies and bites.
Whitney said, I wish I could have Taz. I love his personality. It would keep me on my toes.
Oh, Whitney, be careful what you wish for.
Gavin came on and said hello.
Who?
Gav.
Oh, Gav.
And then Michelle and Whitney were talking about Taz is so much fun to watch.
Yeah, he's fun, but he's a handful sometimes. He's really funny. Like, he thinks he can beat up Nova, and he's pushing the limits right now because Nova is like over 10 pounds now, and Nala, really.
Sandy said, how short is their memory? If they pee on the couch, how do you train them not to?
I would try and get them to potty before they get up on the couch. So that's usually gonna. My first thought on that is that it's been too long since they've gone outside, or it's just when you first got home and they haven't gone outside. Same situation. So don't let them get up on the couch before you get them outside to potty.
And to add to that, I would say if they've already pottied on a couch, if you're not using the right products, then that smell is still there. And so they are going to keep going to that spot over and over again. And so you want to make sure that you're using a cleaner that breaks down those enzymes. And so it'd be something like Nature's Miracle. There's a couple of them, but Nature's Miracle is going to be a good one. And make sure that you clean it thoroughly to get that out. We think a lot of times that it's clean because there's no more smell, or
Because we
can't smell it, and it looks clean, but that's not the case.
Wait, I like this, so no.
No.
Are you breeding Nala soon?
I don't know. She's tiny. She's over 1.5 years. Nova is 5.5 months.
I have a couple of them.
Yeah. She could. I don't know who I would breed her to. But she won't come back into season. She was in season like 3 months ago. So I have another 3 months to think about it and to make her grow. Next.
I have no more questions.
Oh my gosh. Yay! All right. Well, that was good. What else do I have? Do I have anything else?
I got another one.
Okay.
What age should you spay or neuter?
So this is a good topic, and something I know I should really do some more research on. And Julie's probably done a lot of research on this, so I can let her talk about this a lot, because my contract states to have them spay or neutered by the time they're 1 year old. And I'm going to turn this light off. by the time they're a year old. And I know that there's a lot of research that's been done over the years, especially in the last few years, about potential issues with early spay or neuter. So, Julie, I'll let you take that one.
The thing that a lot of people don't understand, and let me start by saying we don't have enough data to know one way or the other yet. So I'll preface it with that. But what a lot of people don't realize is that the hormones that are produced, what we usually would attribute as sex hormones, do a lot more than that. And they have a big impact on growth and how dogs grow in joint and ligature and muscular health as well. So there have been some studies, all in large breeds, and that's where I think the problem comes in large breeds that have given a couple of indications that early spay and neuter can lead to joint ligament issues in older dogs, and again in larger breed dogs. Mm-hmm. So when that study came out, I think a lot of people in the dog world panicked and immediately were like, oh, then we're not going to spay and neuter at 6 months or younger. And I think panicking over it does you very little good as well. So you have to kind of look at the whole picture. There's enough of information out in those studies to make me wonder, and I've read through them and slogged through them. It's not easy reading and it's not fun reading, but there's enough out there to make me question it. And just knowing what I know about biology and how all those hormones work and that type of thing, I understand that there is an impact on growth and development as well. So my contracts say I would rather you wait until they're a year old. I have, I don't want to say changed that, but I've altered that somewhat for some of my puppy people who, have been willing to look at growth plates and that kind of thing. You know, if their puppy is 10 months old and we know it's quit growing and has reached its full potential that way, then I said that's fine. I'm kind of okay, I guess, with like 10 to 12 months-ish. I'm not so excited about 6 months or younger because I think they're just not done growing. Mm-hmm. And that being said, there are other alternatives as well now. They're doing vasectomies for dogs, essentially, for boys, and they're doing more of like a
laser type.
Yeah. They're minimally
less invasive
now, yeah. which is much better. And they're doing the same thing for female dogs, where they're sparing ovaries and just taking the uterus or doing more of like a tubal ligation, that type of thing, so that all of those sex hormones are still in there and allowing the dog to develop as it normally would, but they don't have to worry about it getting pregnant. Mm-hmm. So, and there are pros and cons to that, because if you, I don't know if y'all want to know all this much. Leaving the uterus in can lead down a whole other path of issues. I'll leave it there. Yeah. If you want more information on that, you can take it offline. So nobody gets grossed out. But yeah. So that being said, I would say it depends on the breeder. It depends on the dog. And I like to see 10 to 12 months. Ideally, I put a year into my contracts, and then I'm willing to negotiate if I need to. I don't like to see it in young dogs just because I think it's more important for them to have those hormones for development.
Yeah, I mean, and so of course these are all our own opinions. Yeah. My very first thing is always, you guys need to go off of your vet's recommendation and what your vets would like to do, and also your own research. But at the same time, my take on it is a little different. I feel like we all jumped on the same bandwagon with stop feeding our dogs grain a few years back, because all of a sudden grain is bad for your dogs. And so everyone switched to grain-free foods. And then we started seeing all these cardiac issues. And then it was like, oh, just kidding. I guess we didn't really have all of the data. And so people have been spaying, neutering pets under a year old for how many years?
True.
Generations and generations, right? And so I feel like, thank you, Mary, that was sweet. I feel like I'm going off of what we've been doing for years and years and years. Now, we do have small dogs. And when you have a small dog, you definitely don't want to spay or neuter too young. They need to develop. Their growth plates need to close. And we don't want to put a 5 or 6 pound dog through anesthesia. So you have to be smart about it. But at the same time, I think that it's better if you guys spay or neuter by the time they're a year old, because you don't want accidents. I don't want accidents. I don't want my puppy owners ending up having mixed breed puppies somewhere, and all of a sudden I get wind of this stuff. So the less chance for error when it comes to that, the better. But obviously, what's more important is your dog's health and their growth and their fully developing. So it just goes all over the place. Depending on who you talk to, you're going to get a different opinion. And so my number 1 is go with what your vet recommends. Number 2, make sure your puppy is not too young, too small, too tiny, like these little guys.
Yeah.
That was long.
It was very long.
But I think it was important because a lot of people do need to know about this, right? How many people have a dog or a cat or whatever, and they need to spay or neuter. You hate that color.
Where are Diamond and Simba tonight?
Outside. Do you think we can fit that many dogs in this room? First of all, Simba is...
Guess who said it?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Catherine.
Oh, well, Diamond could definitely be in here, but Diamond is starting to come into season, and she's moody. Like, she doesn't even want Nova near her. She's like, get away. And she really is, actually, she's in a crate. Yeah. So she could be in here, but she's just grumpy. There's no reason. She won't let the puppies play. And Simba, he will knock down everything. So Simba can't be in here with all these dogs. Plus, he'll step on them because he's too spazzy. But look at this pink puppy.
She's out.
Do you have any tips on introducing a Klee Kai to another pet?
Stop that. Not my shoe.
As a puppy? As a puppy, it's pretty easy. It depends on your other pet more than the puppy. Mm-hmm. Honestly.
Agreed.
If you've got an older, kind of grouchy pet, whether it's a dog or a cat, give them time, give them an out to get away from the energetic puppy, so that they aren't feeling overwhelmed or just irritated, right? If it's a younger dog, that's hard. It depends again on if that animal's territorial in your house, if it cares about that at all. Some dogs you can just literally set your puppy down and here, meet the family dog, and you're going to be fine. Other dogs, you're going to have to go to the other extreme and introduce off-site in a neutral area. So that's a hard one. I'd have to know more information.
Yeah, every dog is different. I agree with Julie. It definitely is better to introduce, if you can, depending on your dog, if you can, like out front, on a leash for sure, so that way you don't have any direct lunges. Remember that puppies are very spazzy, and they're just going to jump all over your current dog. And so sometimes, depending on the age of your older dog, they might not like that in the beginning, and they might feel threatened. And so it just depends on the situation.
Hey,
yes.
I got to speed it up a little bit.
All right, keep going. Sorry.
Really quick, Michelle said Julie is the Taz whisperer.
I know, right? He's calm. What?
He's when he's sleeping.
He's
Joseph
tired.
He's so innocent, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Joseph said, I know puppies can get their first rabies shot at 12 weeks. Is there a minimum age for a puppy to get their rabies booster?
That depends on your state. I wouldn't go earlier than 12 just because I don't like that many shots in a puppy that young. But depending on your state will depend on when it counts. So if you go in too early and get it done, which usually your vet's not going to let you do that, then you're going to have it redone. And I don't like that because then you're giving more vaccines than are necessary. Mm-hmm. So talk to your vet. That's going to be your best option there. They'll know your state laws.
Yeah, exactly. Every state's different, so that's super important. But usually in California, the earliest is 12 weeks, and usually, preferably, is 4 months, 16 weeks. And then after that, 16 weeks or 12 weeks in California, they would get a booster in a year, and then another every 3 years after that. But some states, they go straight to a 3-year. So, like Julie said, every state's different.
You're gonna love this question. Sarcastically. Lauren said, so I've seen some people who breed a Pomsky with a Klee Kai. What's your opinion on that?
That's a fun one.
Yeah, it's obviously our thought is that this is a purebred breed and they need to stick to Alaskan Klee Kai. It's one of our biggest fears as a Klee Kai breeder is that our puppies are going to get into the wrong hands and end up being bred to something else and making something else. We're trying to keep it as pure as possible. And so that's why we have such strict contracts, because we don't want them all mixed. And then before you know it, they're in the pound and in shelters and they're in rescues and they're all over the place because this breed was mixed with something else and whatever. So people that are doing it are definitely in a breach of their contract.
Yeah.
If in fact they really have a true Klee Kai, who knows? But what is your thoughts?
I agree with everything you said. I also would add that I don't think a lot of people understand that when you're breeding dogs, it's not just putting 2 dogs together and getting puppies. Like, that's just not it. We put a lot of thought and effort into what we're breeding and who we're breeding together. And there's so much that goes into those decisions based on structure and size and health and temperament that we have generations, especially the 2 of us now at this point after so many years, we have generations of work that we put into producing the puppy that you're getting today. And so it's really hard to see that go into something that is essentially a mix that doesn't have that background. And it kind of, I don't know, it makes all of that work and effort from the past go away. And that's really hard to see.
How many puppies can I really have in my lap? Come here, little Missy. Yeah, and another thing just to quickly add to that is that remember that Pomsky is a Pomeranian and a Husky. A Pomeranian is such a different breed. It's such a different breed. There's nothing similar besides fluffy coat. And so why you would put those 2 together is beyond me, but people do it. And so you really, and another thing, you don't know what you're getting with a Pomeranian and a Husky mix. Like, some people get a dog that's 10 pounds, some people get a dog that's 50 pounds.
And that's just it. I think a lot of people are envisioning essentially a Klee Kai when they think they're getting a Pomsky. That's kind of what they have in their brain. And like you just said, some people get really lucky and they get exactly what they envisioned. But if you're on any of the chat boards or any of the groups, there are also those people who have a 50-pound Pomsky that looks nothing like either or. So it's a
with
risk.
patches all over.
Yeah,
and
it's a risk. And that doesn't mean they don't love their dog or that their dog's not great, right? Has zero to do with that. But if you're getting a dog because you want something specific and that's not what you end up with, that's really hard. And that's part of what gives people that breed dogs such a bad reputation. Like, that's one of the things that we fight against doing what we do, are those people that don't have the ethics to.
Yeah. All right. I know we were taking forever. Do we have
You
more
have
questions?
one last question, and it's
Okay.
58.
All right. Cool.
So the last question's from Lindsay. Oh, we have 2, so you're gonna have to go fast.
Okay.
One of the questions is from Lindsay. She said, regarding your spay and neuter clause, do we need to send papers from our vet? Just curious on what the actual contract says.
For me, yes. We need to see proof of sterilization. And so that's why we hold the puppy's registration papers until we receive that. And then I'm sure you do the same. Yeah.
And then, okay, last question is from Liz, and she said, how does that even work? Like, the size difference, like, physically.
Right?
2 options. 1, where there's a will, there's a way. That does happen. And 2, it can be done with artificial insemination. That's not uncommon in the dog world, just like in every other livestock.
Yeah.
industry, horses, cows. all that.
Yeah, the scary thing for me when I think about that is the size of those potential puppies.
Yeah.
And the risk that you are putting your dog in, because, I mean, we breed only Klee Kai to Klee Kai, and sometimes we have a puppy that's stuck in scary situations.
I'm gonna take that away and give you this one instead.
Yeah. We talked about that before, you know, with the whole getting
It's
bully
big
sticks.
now.
And Rue's such a good girl. She just lets you.
I know.
This is what I do, Julie. When I do stuff like that, I just chuck it out there, and I've got
Eric
this amazing
ends up hooking
husband. Like,
Grabs the
just
gooey stuff. He's right there to catch it.
so yeah, it's really interesting, but people are doing it. So, and as long as people keep raving over them, people are gonna keep doing it.
Liz said, I mean, my boyfriend is 6'5" and I'm 5 foot and I'm terrified. That's hilarious.
Oh my god, that is hilarious. Well, guys,
It is
Tonight-
exactly 8 o'clock.
tonight flew by. I have 3 puppies. Well, I'm talking loud, so now one of them woke up. But I have 3 puppies passed out on me. So, Julie, you have to do me a favor. We go up to the front with the puppy, and you have one that's awake. And when we say bye, you just hold it up to
And
the
I end
camera, and then she'll end it. So I'm going to say our goodbyes. Thank you guys for joining us today and for subscribing to our channel, all of your super chat and super stickers. I hope that you guys enjoyed what you've learned. Give us a thumbs up. And until next time, bye.
Thank you.